folks, before we go on, I just want to check on some sports stats, keep myself sharp here on the sports, and I'll use my computer and just go in here, and I'm going to check, okay.
Welcome back to Too Much Dip. Let's do it one more time. My name is Dave. I'll be your host. I've got the whole squad here. Everybody, full strength. Dylan's here. Say hi.
Hello, David. Thanks for having me back.
Look at you in that.
This is that new.
I mean, you didn't waste any time. They literally sent us these Rowback hoodies this morning.
I wanted to try it on.
Yeah.
I love it.
Looks pretty good.
And if I'm allowed to say, I look really handsome in it. So
brings out the color of your eyes.
Well, my eyes are black.
All right.
So
just like your heart.
Oh, come on. Small heart.
Mike is here.
Hey, a couple dirty boys backseat cruising the highway, living the Canadian dream, pulling up to the function. Prayer emoji, old-fashioned emoji.
Dude, I love a good function, which is I'm pretty sure what I commented on that post.
Who wouldn't want to mob with the boys to a function?
What kind of function was it?
It's hard to say. It leaves it open to interpretation, which I appreciate.
Speaking of mobbing to functions,
Who
KJ.
calls it a function?
Who doesn't call it a function? And David, you said we're at full power, full steam. I would say that I'm probably at like 88%. I haven't fully recovered from all of the deep V dresses that Mariah Carey was wearing in her Christmas special. Now available on Apple Plus TV, one of the two. It's a scene. Just don't go into it.
Mariah Carey.
Yes, just don't expect to enjoy any of the production or the music in it.
Other than that,
hold on.
Wardrobe, excellent.
Hold on. I'm not a fan of her music typically, but her Christmas music is fantastic.
100%. They found a way to not make it good.
Okay. All right.
I will say this.
that.
They filmed it very safely. And by safely, she's not on set at any point with anyone else, which is kind of difficult to pull off like a 30-person cast show that lasts about an hour. There's like a very thin halo of green screen around her at all times. Very strange.
wow.
But hey, go check it out.
gotta look
Great
up-
content.
You know,
look up
I heard that
photos.
Apple is running out of
Oh, my.
cash, so it's kind of, it's not surprising. The budget is probably smaller.
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're talking about. You said 88%.
I'm regaining strength.
Are you going to
quickly.
throw up the X?
Just at some point? I'm just mentally. I'm in that mode already. I'm ready for tomorrow.
Hey, before we get into it, throw up the X one time for Dippy.
Man,
We'll do-
everything. Pour one out for Dippy.
This entire episode today is dedicated to two things: Podcast Week and Dippy.
Did Dippy die?
No,
You said
live
pour
and
one
well.
out.
Yeah, but he's struggling right now.
Oh. A lot of people are right now.
Yeah, he's getting pulled in a lot of different directions, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dippy, if you like Dippy, if you even want to see what the fuck we're talking about, you can go to washedmedia.shop. Again, washedmedia.shop and check out a full line of Too Much Dip merch, Washed Media merch, circling back, Club Cool merch coming soon.
Ooh.
Check it out, washedmedia.shop. The Dippy shirt is the real winner in all this.
Oh,
It
yes.
is our highest performer. Get it while you can. It's going to be hot in the streets. It's the #1 Christmas gift on some people's lists.
Mostly moms.
Mostly moms. Mommies love Dippy.
You know, we're talking about how Dippy is struggling at this time.
Right.
You know, I've learned today in Micah's Read of the Week, the newsletter,
Okay.
is that he's not the
So
only one struggling. In fact,
Small businesses.
well, there's small businesses as well. They're spotlighted in Micah's Read of the Week, the newsletter, available at Micah Weiner in my link in bio. The headline that I was going to share is "No game days, no bars. The pandemic is forcing some men to realize they need deeper friendships."
Aw.
I've been thinking about that.
I'm just
gotta have
glad
a squad,
that
you know?
yeah, I'm glad I've got a squad with you guys, and I hope that Dippy doesn't feel that way because he's a part of our squad.
I keep texting him. He just won't link up. It's really it's getting kind of irritating.
I was at lunch with Dylan the other day, and I was having that same thought.
It's hard to compete on the merch front with what Cole Campbell's putting out. So, Dippy feels a lot of pressure to compete.
Did you see the zip down hoodie? that
Yeah,
has
with the dolphin photo.
It has an image of him on a being kissed by a dolphin. And the image, I guess, you just split it in half with the zipper because it goes right down the middle of it. So it's a must-cop item this holiday season.
On your list of wild animals that you would kiss, a dolphin's got to be pretty high up there, right?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Like it seems like the cleanest kiss.
I've been kissed by a
Yeah,
dolphin.
but that's.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Was it a wild dolphin, or was
No.
this was a captivity
Oh,
dolphin?
you think I was just swimming in like in the,
Yeah,
in the
let
ocean
me
and a
be
dolphin
clear.
comes up and starts kissing my
Well, he
face?
said
That would
which-
be like a religious experience.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about the dolphin birth
trained-
another time.
it was trained to
That's a
kiss
whole
my-
nother discussion.
kiss my face. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's probably the same dolphin that got to Cole.
I hope it is.
Like
Yeah.
dolphins, we are spiraling. You know what that means? Google dolphin appendages.
Oh.
Okay, all right. Google me, Daddy. Let's go.
I'm trying to think what the most kissable creature in the ocean is, and I think it's the dolphin.
Might be the
bottlenose,
octopus, but whoa, octopus. That's the day after.
Okay.
It's the octo mom.
She have an OnlyFans? All right, moving
find
on.
out.
Moving on.
Hey, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Leave a review. We do a live stream every Thursday, 6:30 Central. That's CST if you're keeping schedule at home. We do, normally we do it right before kickoff. We kind of bleed into the Thursday night game. Sometimes we go 90 minutes. Who knows? It depends on how much fun we're having. But check it out. We pick games. We talk about stuff, and you get to see our faces.
Hell
It's a
yeah.
lot of fun. People have fun with it. You guys want to jump right into a combat sports minute?
Let's go.
Lead off.
Have we ever let off with a combat sports minute?
I don't believe we have.
Okay. We've got two notes.
Your boy, Errol.
Errol Spence,
The truth.
comeback season, man down season, strap season. It's all on. Dominates Danny Garcia in a fight that I did actually pay for. This is one I support.
Good for you.
Errol, DeSoto, Texas's own, KJ's newly adopted hometown.
Yep.
I love the guy. The fight was in Arlington at Jerry World. It was really weird, like 16,000 fans, but there's a bunch on the floor and it's very spread out. It was odd. Wasn't very loud in there, but he dominated. No knockdowns. Danny Garcia has never been knocked down. Neither has Errol, but he looked good. And I mentioned this last week. This is like a year and a half after he rolled his Ferrari at like 150 miles an hour while drunk and did not break a single bone and was thrown from said Ferrari.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think he had to get new teeth. His face was pretty fucked up, but nobody really knew what
It
to
didn't hurt
expect.
his chin.
Did not. That was my worry, is because Danny Garcia's got some heat in those hands. He's a puncher. He's got one-punch knockout power, and he touched Errol a couple times, but didn't really wobble him. It was a good fight.
What did you think of Earl's decision in, what do you want to call it? Walk-in, walk-up?
Walkout
Attire?
music.
Walkout. Well, not the music as much as the attire.
Oh, wow.
He went with the unique combo of pink leather. It was like black leather with pink lettering, trimmed with fur, like faux fur around his hoodie, and he had faux fur around the boots. Actually, had fur.
Boots with the fur.
Oh yes, and the shorts did. It was a very strange look.
I thought so, too. He has come out with noted Dallas rapper Yellow Beezy
Yes,
on a number of occasions.
Not familiar with his music.
that's on me.
That's on me being his biggest hit, I believe. I was so excited by this fight that I almost bought a ESJ Big Fish hoodie until I saw the back that says, "Everybody thinks they can swim until they get in the water."
I
in
like
very
that.
large lettering. And I was like, I can't be
That's
the guy.
hard, dude.
I can't wear it.
Wear that to the gym.
That is tremendous.
All right, I'll fucking buy it then.
I think that's a good quote. I will say I had a little bit of concern going into this fight, not only for the reasons of the wreck, but you mentioned he walks out with Yellow Beezy. As we've talked about before, or it's been mentioned, Dallas has a bit of a little rapper war going on. That's a terrible way to paraphrase it, but one of the people that was killed in this ongoing situation, Mo 3, was someone who was close to Yellow Beezy. Yellow Beezy actually was previously shot. And this was all kind of cascading from it. So,
We don't need Errol getting caught in the crossfire.
yes,
And
his post-fight celebration was at a place called the Pink Lounge in Dallas, which was kind of by Bishop Arts in a little sketchier area. And I think that's what led to him wearing the pink trim. And I'm like, if he doesn't win this,
that's
it's
embarrassing.
going to be a long night for Errol.
I now know what the Pink Lounge is because of the restaurant in Dallas that had the viral moment last week where he said, if you guys want to twerk, go to Pink. And I'm
Yes.
assuming it was the same spot.
100%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now that I've
I'm
watched
putting
that
it
full
together.
video and seen the context, I am fully on the side of the restaurant owner for True Kitchen.
Have you been to True Kitchen?
I have not, but I will go based on the outcome. Of
He
that
deserves our
situation.
business.
100%.
You can't be twerking on the glass. No. Anything else on Spence Garcia?
Let's go to Mayweather.
Let's
Logan
go to
Paul.
what everybody wants us to talk about.
Jeez.
That is another Paul brother engaging in a fist exhibition. This time with arguably the greatest boxer of all time, Floyd Mayweather.
I hate this so much because Logan Paul has already won the event. And I don't mean he's not going to win the fight. He's already won the night. He's won the event. To get a boxer like Mayweather to a boxer of his caliber to agree to this fight, and him saying
Exhibition.
yes, him saying yes because Logan Paul has like enough internet clout to actually pull this off and make everybody a bunch of money. It's bullshit. It cheapens boxing. Logan Paul, he has absolutely nothing to lose, right? He has nothing to lose. No one expects him to do anything against Floyd Mayweather, right? But let's say he lands a punch or something, and he's already exceeded expectations. Mayweather, he's obviously it's just a payday for him. He doesn't really care. He knows he's not going to get touched. It stinks. Logan Paul, because of his internet clout, pulls a boxing exhibition against one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Yeah, and with a significant size advantage also, worth noting. We were talking before, Floyd's 5'8" at most, maybe 5'9" on a good day.
He's
Probably
a wee
walks around
lad.
probably walks around 155, 160.
Logan Paul's legit.
Paul brothers are big dudes.
Big
Floyd is
6'2", 200.
5'8".
Yeah.
Good news for Mayweather, he's probably the best defensive boxer ever. He's not going to get touched.
Right.
But if he does, it's like, oh, wow, Logan Paul, he actually landed one on the greatest. And
If he
it's like,
lands one,
wow.
it's a win for him.
Exactly.
I'll make a prediction right now. Logan Paul wins the first round. Because if in the Mayweather McGregor fight, Floyd threw 0 punches in round 1. and Conor landed one or
Conor
two.
was gassed by round 3.
Yeah. I mean, but he's going to play with this dude. And Logan Paul might land one. So he will win a round in all likelihood. I did note, as you mentioned earlier, Logan Paul is trending on Google, which means there are a ton of people going, who is Logan Paul?
Yeah, it stinks, man. It's like if I spent 5 years getting as good at golf as I possibly could, and I was like, hey, Phil Mickelson, let's go play someone in the twilight of their career, but still like very capable.
That's a good.
Let's go play a skins game, 18 holes, and it's like, and we're all gonna get paid. Like, all right, let's go do it. He's gonna beat the shit out of me, but no one's expecting me to do anything. I might win like
It's not
a
that
hole.
different than the actual match.
Yeah, he might spray one off the tee, and I par it, and I beat him a hole. It's like, oh wow, but it doesn't really fucking mean anything.
Yeah, I don't like this for a number of reasons. I'm on record as saying, like, I won't be paying money for this fight, but I will be watching it on some sort of pirated stream. Just because, like, neither of these guys deserve my money at this point. And it's crazy that Floyd's doing this. He legitimate. When I say he has nothing to prove, there's never been, like, anyone who had anything bad to say about his actual career.
He has nothing
as a
to
fighter.
win here except for
No.
money. That's it.
Yeah, and
Nothing to win.
he's already, what's his net worth? He's got to be above 500 mil.
I mean,
He got 100 mil for fighting Conor.
yeah, but he's also had very well publicized IRS issues in the past.
Very true.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you don't have the money. It just means you don't pay the right people.
He might have
Well,
invested in
perhaps.
crypto.
I mean,
Ask Wesley Snipes. Eventually
when this
it catches up
happened,
with you.
when this happened, the group chat was like, "Oh, Floyd doesn't need the money. Floyd, I'm willing to bet Floyd probably needs the money based on how he spends it, based on his history of owing the IRS millions of dollars. You could always use the money, and I'm sure I don't know what he's going to walk away with
You
here,
want
but
you want to guess here?
350.
Give me like what you think low end his celebrity net worth is. You say 350, KJ?
I'll say 349.
It gives you. There's only one.
I'm going Price is Right style, so I'm
Yeah,
closer.
You'd bid over then.
You'd be 351.
Well, I think it's
All right, I'm 351.
Say $1.
Someone
all
never,
right. Yeah.
At least 560 million. However, he could actually be worth 1 billion at most, and this is per sportscasting.com.
I think that's a bit
very
of a
generic.
So
Good
my
for
only
him.
take on this is if it doesn't happen, for some reason I'm trying to play through the scenarios in which this would get canceled because you have injury on either side could happen, like just naturally with fights it happens. But if Logan Paul was to back out, like he's already won to this point, like you said, so like what's the problem if he backs out? Like he's not going to get booed offline for not fighting Floyd Mayweather. If Mayweather decides, you know what, not worth my time, like nobody loses. So I'm concerned about it not happening. I think the only reason that we ended up tuning into the Nate Robinson part of that other fight, A, because of boredom, but B, because it was also paired with the Tyson-Roy Jones fight. So they're going to need to bring something else to this. Otherwise, kind of like the match,
We're going to need
they're
a
going to go
B-side.
back to the well, and everyone's going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why am I here? So,
Anytime you see a Paul brother get humbled, it's going to be nice, but that's a very small win here.
Do you guys
for
recall
everybody.
that Floyd, this isn't Floyd's first exhibition? He had one with like some karate guy in Korea a year or two ago. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Like some like obscure like 18-year-old prodigy, and Floyd just whipped him.
Well, there's
and
a
nobody
lot-
watched.
there's
So
a-
I'm very confused.
There's a thought that he might have thrown that fight on purpose. Like it might have been a work, like the whole thing. I remember them arguing on Rogan about it. Because, like, Floyd hits him, and, like, the way he falls, it is just the most overdramatic knockdown you'll ever see. It's like a Super Nintendo Mike Tyson's Punch-Out knockdown where, like, the guy's spinning backward and like, lands flat on his face. It's just – it looked ridiculous.
Okay.
It was in September 2018 during an electronic music festival, Ultra Japan. Mayweather fought someone named Nasa
Just reflexively.
Nasakawa.
Nice. You nailed that.
Thank you.
I don't know. We've got months till this happens. This is slated for February 21st. So
The only other thing that I would like to mention about this is when the Tyson thing came up, and my other group chat people were like excited about this. And no, I am not excited about fist exhibitions. And now fist exhibitions are the most important thing in combat sports. And I think it goes against what I stand for, but I think it puts me in a unique position as a former fist exhibitionist that I'm really
Fist
ground
and
floor.
foot. Fist and foot.
Yeah, I'm ground floor for these debates. So my clout
You have
is
a
growing
unique
like Cole
perspective
Campbell's right
that
now. Thank
many
you.
podcasts can't provide.
Dude, let's say Logan Paul catches him. Like that's bad for everybody.
yeah,
That's terrible for boxing.
Can you imagine if he has one blemish on his career and it's an exhibition with a YouTube
There
sensation?
is money in the rematch, though.
true. I would say here, though, that maybe there's an opportunity. I have no idea how the sanctioned stacking of fights goes. Like, this could only be good, quote unquote, for boxing or for combat sports if they're able to start stacking these into regular cards, which I don't know if other boxers would want to be paired with these sideshows, so to speak. But this would bring eyeballs to, other fights. Like, name the 4th ranked heavyweight boxer right now. Like, we could stand to see some of those fights.
That's true.
in
This
the
is something
undercards
that
of this.
boxing generally does a terrible job of. Traditionally, on these big fights, they're one-fight cards,
Yes.
whereas the UFC has grown their stars on the undercard. Maybe Floyd is doing this to get some attention because Floyd's next move is to be a promoter
And he still
to try
owns,
and
yeah.
get. I'm sure he'll have his fighters fighting on the undercard,
That's
but
true.
I'm wondering if the
just-
platform that's carrying these fights, if he has some sort of equity in it.
Mm.
Because I think Tyson does.
Like DAZN was or whatever.
Yeah.
Before.
Triller last week.
Triller, which I'm now getting emails from Triller.
Snoop Dogg is now a part owner of Triller.
Okay.
He deserves it after
Yeah,
that.
he
performance.
does. He does. He's committed to.
Snoop calling this next one.
I bet he's back. Everyone loved what he
There
did.
was Snoop news. He is confirmed that he will do more fights on Triller, but I don't
Okay.
know if he's a part of whatever bizarre, obscure streaming service this thing is going to be on. Did you see the pricing structure on this? It's like $24.95 for the first million buys, and then it's $45 for the next million, and then it's like $59 the day of the fight, or the week of the fight, and $65 the day of the fight. Something bizarre.
Interesting.
I guarantee it's to pay Logan Paul out, and then Floyd's taking everything after that. Probably
Floyd
like
apparently-
on a graduated
Yeah.
scale.
How's the imbalance of compensation on this one? Crazy.
Floyd made
80,
$9 million
20,
for
90,
the previous exhibition he had in 2018. So you got to think he's making more than that on this.
Yeah.
Good combat sports minute.
19 of them.
19 of them. You want to talk NFL?
Let's go.
Did you guys watch the big games over the weekend?
I did, man.
Turn it up.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with the Raiders? No one's ever said that.
We're just diving into the mess.
There is some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Gregg Williams, Gregg with 3 Gs, has been fired.
Okay, Pop spells it that way too, so put some respect on it.
Okay.
I guess I
that's
never
true.
noticed that Pop spelled it that way. Okay. That definitely adds some credibility. So Gregg Williams, interim head coach of the Jets.
No, he was just the defensive coordinator.
Oh, Gase is still there. They didn't show him at all
Gase
on the
is
sideline during the game.
No, they dialed Gregg Williams, the genius who dialed up a cover zero, was fired on that final play.
They covered zero.
A great quote here from or a tweet from Albert Breer. If sending a zero blitz into a Hail Mary situation is the last defensive call Gregg Williams ever makes, I think that's the way he would have wanted to go out.
Is there a chance that there was some intent behind that because of the whole tanking guarantee, the Trevor Lawrence pick situation?
Players wouldn't be down for that shit, though, is the problem.
But
Like,
the players
They did
don't
put an
don't call
undrafted
defense.
free agent against one of the fastest players
Yeah.
in football with no safety help on the final play. And
I'm
I'm
just
not a
saying,
conspiracy
if I
theory
was a
guy,
conspiracy
but
theorist, I would look into it, but I'm not.
I can't remember how it broke down. There was another play right before that because they overthrew Aguilar.
yes,
right?
he had him.
And
he
then
had
there
him on
wasn't a
third down.
timeout. It was just an incomplete pass.
I think so, yeah.
So there, as far as deciding on who's covering whom in that situation, like I don't know if there would have been enough time to be like, okay, you're not going out there and cover zero and be like, you're locked up on Ruggs. Like it's not quite that simple as far as like deciding, okay, we're going to put Joe on Ruggs instead of, I don't know, fucking Jets secondary. So, but as far as the play call, I've never seen anything like it. I get trying to make sure you send pressure, and I get trying to like affect the pass. In most Hail Mary situations, like that's what you lack, and that's how you get beat, is letting the quarterback dance around for 20
move and
seconds.
then throw.
But that was just abysmal.
Unbelievable.
Van Pelt had a quote or had a graphic yesterday I took a photo of. The last 15 seasons entering yesterday, there have been 504 pass attempts with less than 15 seconds with 40 yards to go to the end zone. So basically Hail Marys, where a team was down less than 8 points or less. And 0 of those 504 times did the defense send 7 or more rushers.
I like
So
how the,
this is
It was bizarre.
that's
really
a lot.
was.
It's really bizarre.
I like how the corner bit on the double move too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Yeah, you didn't think he was going to throw a 12-yard out?
Oh, he sat on it. Yeah.
Gregg Williams didn't tell you to do that.
What are you doing?
But the real bastard of this game is the Jaguars fans out there. If you watch this on Red Zone, yesterday was a time to be tuned in to Scott, Chris, Jeff,
Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen. Because
don't
he
you have a seat?
killed it. His 200th episode. If you're ever in the Savannah, just check him out.
He's been
Or
on
Sahara.
friend of the show.
He is.
He did the
Anyways.
live
He's a
stream one.
great storyteller. We're gonna
He
have him
was
back.
explaining the pain that Jaguars fans like me were enduring because the Jags have one win. The Jags were at the same time fucking up and down 8 points to the Vikings, and they not only score, but they get the 2-point conversion and then got the ball back, and it goes overtime and had a chance to screw around and win. We're a one-loss team. We don't want to win, and the Jets have no wins. And the Jets fucked around and gave up that one game lead on this deep ball. So there was no more troubling 5 minutes of my life for two teams that
crazy
had
turn of
combined
events.
one game win
Yeah.
than yesterday. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was a great red zone day. You had competition at the top of the league and at the bottom, and
Yeah.
simultaneously.
The
It's really
Texans-
at
the
its
Texans
best.
lost in a heartbreaking, just a low snap when they're driving.
Going
they were
in for the
down-
winning
they
score. They were down
4.
6, I think.
Down 6,
Yeah.
okay. That was crazy. God, that Jets game, man.
Okay, I guess we should pause here and allow Dylan to give his old buddy Baker Mayfield a shout out for his performance
Look,
yesterday.
he had a hell of a game. An incredible first half of that game.
Yeah.
But look, the Browns are pretty good, and doing this without Beckham Jr., which is nuts.
What's that say about him?
That's a dude who's always been like the most athletic guy in the field, but for whatever reason just doesn't always turn it on. I don't know. I can't figure him out.
Do you remember when he punched the net on the sideline and it like fell back?
He's
Yeah.
a freak athlete, man, but for whatever reason, he does have some incredible games.
Oh, absolutely.
He's very inconsistent.
Yeah, most of them against the Cowboys.
Most of them against the Cowboys.
They have an incredible running game,
Yes.
Chubb is legit.
and that helps out
Chubb
Baker
is
quite a
legit.
bit. But
Yeah.
they're 9-3.
They're 9-3. Are they good?
Yeah.
And they did win yesterday by 6, and they should have won the game by like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
basically,
they let Tennessee back in
they
the
were
game.
going for a fourth down like quarterback sneak to put the game away when they were up 2 scores, and for some reason fumbles, and they run it back, and so the Titans scored a late touchdown to make this closer, but the Browns really smoked them. I think they had 31 at half.
Yeah, it wasn't close at any point in the game. And I'm looking at their losses. They lost to the Ravens big to start the season. They lost 38-6. They lost to the Steelers big, 38-7. And then they lost a close game to the Raiders, who knows what the Raiders are. The Raiders are 0-3 in their last 3, but before that have been as strong as most of the AFC teams. But, aside from getting blown out to this Ravens and Steelers, like, you can't really knock them for those 2 losses. They still have repeat games against the Steelers and Ravens coming up. So, if they pick up one of those 2 wins, I think you've got to go into the playoffs expecting, like, the Browns are legitimate.
I would sell my Ravens stock and pick up Brown stock if I was forced to. If I was forced to do some kind of acquisition.
Fully healthy?
Yeah.
Both teams? Not Odell, but I mean, like, non-COVID affected?
Well, that changes things.
Yeah, because
But,
I think
like, we're going to see Lamar on tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but you won't see Mark
Post-COVID.
Andrews. I don't know
Right.
who else is still out, but I don't know. I think I'm still leaning.
I'm not ready to
Ravens.
give up on the Ravens.
Yeah.
I just think they've got a track record, and the Browns have a track record as well, which is the opposite of that. But shouts to them. Shouts to the people of Cleveland. This has got to feel pretty good.
There was one person on this podcast who picked Cleveland.
Who was it?
Cleveland?
I think it was a guy who just chunked deuce.
It was you.
Oh, absolutely.
Damn. Randy's got it.
Can we talk about Randy's
Taysom Hill?
team?
Oh, God, do we have? I mean,
Just for a second. I like having Randy in the room and without a microphone. It makes me feel
Lions
good
over
for all the years you
Bears,
guys roasted me.
34-30. Detroit scores 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minute 30 seconds. I didn't even know that part.
Oh, yeah. This was a bad choke by the Bears, who are a bad football team with a terrible coach who will probably get fired. There's not a whole lot else to say other than, like, the Lions are sneaky in the playoff race right now. But that's a whole nother. These are 2 teams we probably shouldn't spend any more time talking about.
I follow a number of Chicago sports personalities that were calling for the firing of said coach.
Sarah Spain.
Sarah Spain not being one of them.
Did anyone see? The Chargers aren't a good team. Unfortunately, Anthony Lynn's going to lose his job. But I don't think any of us thought that Cam Newton or the Patriots were going to go up there and completely blow out Justin Herbert.
45-0 is really, that's a score.
I think they had the offense to blow out anybody.
A lot of special teams.
Yeah, there were a
issues.
couple special teams touchdowns, but still, that 28-0 would still be embarrassing.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a thing
That's not
like
2
that
touchdowns,
the Chargers punted 4 times, and on those 4 plays they had 12, 11, and 10 men on the field at certain points, and they gave up a punt return for a touchdown and another one for like 61 yards?
That seems like a fireable offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that team may have quit.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him, and hopefully he picks up a coordinator job and gets another opportunity. Because of the little I did see at the beginning of the Hard Knocks season, seems like a very
by all
likable
accounts
coach.
a very likable guy too.
But likable gets you fired, ass
Dude, the Chargers are a likable team.
Yeah.
They were fun early on in the season to watch because you're seeing a kid who I think people who follow the draft are like, all right, this Herbert's got the best arm, but I feel like he doesn't get the national pub.
It's an easy team to bandwagon because their fans don't care. They don't have
obnoxious fans out there
they're not like
pissing me
Philly
off.
fans. No one bandwagons for the Eagles.
Unless you hate Joey Bosa, like there's not much else to dislike unless you hate teams that stab their starting quarterback in the lung and can't ruin his season.
Yeah, if you're anti-medical malpractice, the Chargers just aren't your squad.
That changed the whole course of their season because Herbert is run with it. But
do you think Tyrod comes back at all? Like at this point in his career, are you fighting back from a collapsed lung given to you by?
There might be a bigger settlement if you don't come back.
That's what ended Reggie Bush's career.
I did see he's not pursuing a grievance.
Idiot.
At this point,
maybe there's some under the table deal. But
I was just thinking though, this is a good year to suck, to lose these games because you don't have to worry about selling tickets because you weren't going to sell the tickets anyway.
Sure.
And you don't have like angry season ticket holders that bought the whole season and don't want to go watch your team play. And maybe you'll get a draft pick. And the Chargers now have a star quarterback, so maybe they'll succeed in L.A. Who knows?
Dylan, we got to talk Colt McCoy.
Let's go.
First place, Colt McCoy.
He's better than Russell
this
Wilson.
is where my plan is just. He's better than who?
He's better than Russell Wilson.
I mean, arguably. I did not see this coming. No one did. But
he threw for like 18 yards. No, he threw for like
he's a great game manager.
He looks thick. by the way. Like every
Does
time
he?
they showed him on Red Zone, I'm like, damn, Cole
He looks so
big.
weird in that Giants uniform.
Yeah.
though.
He does.
So
But like he
weird.
looks like very strangely large.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was him. I
he
thought it
did-
was somebody
He
else.
did just enough. He drove the bus.
Hey, that's important.
Yeah.
Can you believe it's his first start on a Sunday since 2011? Like I think he started a Monday night game at some point,
Was
but
that Washington?
He didn't start for injured Alex Smith.
I think it was a
Not on
Monday night
yeah,
game
it
or
just
something.
Must not have been a
I
Sunday
see.
game.
Which is kind of a weird loophole, but still.
Definitely beat the Cowboys as a Washington.
Could have been a
Saturday
Thursday night
or
or-
something because
yeah.
it was a playoff game, wasn't it? Or no.
that
That
was
was
RG3.
that was early.
That
I
was
think it
the
was one that
Pat
knocked the
game.
Cowboys out of playoff
Hey,
contention.
good for Colt.
And good
Yeah.
for Alfred Morris. I mean, again,
Oh, hell
another
yeah.
just hashtag good dude. He's now in his third of 4 NFC East teams and still producing.
Yeah, dude, he's still getting it, man.
Is that the best team in the NFC East?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess.
They're
I mean,
sneaky. They're
If they
sneaky
had,
good.
If they had Saquon Barkley, it might look a lot different, but their defense is somehow creeping back into being like competent. That's what they were missing.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones, once he's healthy, they're not going to win in the playoffs.
I
I'm
mean,
not
it's-
saying that, but
it's-
they're
yeah,
not going to
that's true.
struggle down the stretch.
It's not the Eagles. I think we can agree on that. They got smoked by the Packers 30-16. Wentz was
stinks.
benched. He's terrible.
He can't see
Peterson
the
won't
field.
commit to a new quarterback or who he's
I
going to
mean,
start
Hurts
next
They're
week.
didn't look
botching
much
this.
better, though. Like,
No, I mean Hurts is not
Yeah.
going to.
he made a couple good passes. He got the ball to Jalen Rager, which is, you want to see your rookies connect, but like Hurts dirted a couple balls. And
Wentz
threw a
also
couple
has
picks.
the single highest guaranteed contract for any player in the National Football League for next season. So, like, they can't just toss him out. It's not like you have MVP Mitch and you're like, Trubisky's not the guy. Fuck him. Like, you're going to have this guy on your team next year.
He's terrible.
He's bad.
Randy's just catching strays back there.
Feels good.
Well, it's not like anybody would sign like an Eagles quarterback to a huge deal and cut him after a year because you got a 6th-round rookie. Oh, wait, we've done that. So crazier decisions have been made, I guess. The Rams?
Goff is back.
Yeah.
The Rams are good. They can't beat the 49ers, but they won't have to play them in the playoffs. So I think, I really think that's just their kryptonite. The Rams are good.
Any issue with Kyler Murray being 0-3 since trademarking Hail Murray?
Oh, I did not know
No,
that.
did he do that? Oh god,
That shoulder's banged
You
up,
heard
man.
Micah
He's
say
not
it.
at
He's
full
like, this
speed.
has legs.
Yeah.
he really did it,
Really did it.
dude. What is he gonna do with that?
Not a damn thing now because that stock is way down.
Yeah, turns out if you just take that element out of his game, the whole running thing, like he becomes a fairly average quarterback. I still am high on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you high on Vic Fangio?
No, I'm not.
You're not a mile high on the Broncos' game management decisions last night?
Hurts was announced as a starter next week, right?
If so, it was very recent because
Yeah, last I saw
no
is
commitment.
that he would not commit. Head coach would not
You're
commit.
breaking news to me if so.
Don't quote me on that. I just thought I saw that.
You know what? Surprisingly good Sunday night football game.
Yeah.
If you tuned in to see a lot of touchdowns, you were disappointed. But if you wanted to see a close game that was a game until, the very end, it was good.
How many Drew Lock dances can you do? That's like the new TikTok, right?
I only know one. Okay.
Yeah, you secured the bag.
I secured it.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's even when the Chiefs don't play well, it's got to be fun to be a Chiefs fan. Like, you know they're not going to lose this game. There's a 0% chance at any point they're losing the game.
And you know that even if your touchdown's going to get called back, you're still going to get a backflip into the end zone.
Yeah, and you can, and then they're going to score again, even with the penalty. They're really good.
And you don't even need to accept all your touchdowns. Just say, fuck it. You know what?
Oh yeah. Don't.
Did y'all see that live and think he caught it? So Tyreek Hill caught a deep ball. The ball got ripped out, and admittedly, like the way the ball got ripped out, it jumped up. It made it look like it spiked off the ground and was incomplete. But it just got popped up, and Tyreek Hill caught it again, laying on his back.
I missed this somehow.
And it didn't touch the ground. It's a full-blown touchdown. No questions about it. But Andy Reid didn't question it. Nobody questioned it. Lined up and punted. And Tyreek Hill's like, I caught the ball. What are you doing?
Oh, I didn't.
Dude,
I
I
missed
punted
the
the
completely
ball.
entire-
missed that.
Yeah. So, they had a whole nother touchdown that
He's on my fantasy team too. That's
oh,
devastating.
shit.
Must have hurt.
Um,
Fantasy alert.
I'm not going to jump too much into coaching decisions, but
oh, yeah.
it seemed weird for the Broncos to punt to the Chiefs. What was it, 4th and 3?
4th and 3 at midfield.
Midfield.
3.5 minutes.
Down
something
3.
Like that.
Now, granted, you held them to a field goal, but like you're going to give Drew Lock 55 seconds with no timeouts to get the length of the field. I got it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of giving Mahomes the ball back. It's kind of like punting to Aaron Rodgers.
If it's 4th and 18, that's one thing. If it's 4th and 3, no matter where you are on the field, I think you go for it.
What
Let
if
alone
it's like 4th
midfield.
and 10 and you're on your own 24?
Well, I'd have to
And you're down 4.
consult the
Do
algorithm.
you employ Bones Fossil?
And
That is the only person of flowchart. that
you
gets
spent the better part of a year in a barn studying the data. Big F. Anything else? Oh, we got some COVID news.
And we skipped the Saints. That was the only other game worth mentioning. Saints now 11 wins in a row, I think. 3-0 with Taysom Hill. Drew Brees apparently eligible to return next week. I don't know why you'd rush him back.
11
because some of
broken
us have Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara's
You'd like him for the
production.
fantasy playoffs?
He balled out yesterday, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, he did okay, but like he's had a total of like 16 receptions or 16 targets over the last 3 weeks, whereas before that he had like 40 plus receptions. I don't know, some absurd decline in production since Taysom Hill's been in there, and I think, quote unquote, fantasy wise, we're talking a collective like 30 points over those 3 weeks as opposed to 30 points a week. So I don't know. My numbers are surely off, but life is better under Breeze.
Yeah. I'm kind of rooting for him to come back and them to just completely collapse. But
That's not very nice, David.
it's not. It's not. I'm talking about the team, not lungs or anything.
Oh, man.
No, I'm saying I'm rooting for the Saints to collapse.
And I
MVP votes.
Patrick.
Give me the wild card. Give me Big Ben.
Micah?
It's definitely not Russell Wilson. After 6 weeks of hearing that he's never been MVP,
You got to think his agent regrets that.
it's tough. That
So his
PR,
PR team.
campaign has really done.
What's going on with them?
Their running backs, they had 2 running backs that were hurt for a while. Now that they're back, their defense can't stop anybody, so he's having to throw in dire situations. Yesterday was just an all-around shit game for him, so there was no excuse for yesterday because Chris Carson was back. My vote at this time, I'm no Michael Lombardi, but I think Matt LaFleur is a decent coach, and I think Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and what he's doing needs to be appreciated. Like, I'm not a Packers fan, but I'm also, whatever. Aaron Rodgers for the lock.
Rodgers gets my vote at the
36
moment.
touchdowns. That's pretty wild.
Very bad touchdown celebrations, but everything else is good.
Anything else?
No.
It's quite an extensive NFL
We've
journey.
still got 3 games, and we just talked about all the fucking.
Yeah, there's 3 more games to go this week.
We got to do an entire segment on Ravens boys right now. No, we don't have to touch that.
Tuesday night game.
Tuesday night. What channel? Is that Fox?
Fox.
No,
Yeah.
really?
Could be.
Fox. Yes, because you have ESPN and who's getting Bills Niners? CBS, I guess, tonight,
Oh, okay.
and then you get Fox tomorrow. So. All we know is it's not ABC because you're going to have Bachelor and The Boys going at the same time.
Dude.
Game is on Fox.
Quite the conundrum for us.
But next week, Chiefs Dolphins looks interesting.
Yeah.
Steelers Bills, and then we get to figure out if the Browns are legit.
What you got, Micah? You got your phone pulled out.
Oh, no, I was just going to say the Cowboys are on Fox tomorrow.
Is it Joe and Troy?
It should be. And then we're back to a double Monday night football situation tonight, a 4 o'clock and then a 7:30 or 7:15. Washington at Pittsburgh, Bills at Niners. Both are decent games.
Yeah. Maybe they'll roll. I don't know if you noticed this on Sunday Night Football. Chris Collinsworth's kid works for them.
Oh, yeah. He's, yeah, they really like him.
They really
and
do.
high
we've
on
got
him.
Phil Simms' kid on that network, on that program as well, who's absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
You know,
Chris Sims has
Chris
never.
Sims, but-
Chris Sims has never said a single interesting thing. He's a good-looking man.
No, he's got a
Objectively.
hardcore Proud Boy look to him. He's probably not, but that's his face.
He does look like one.
Guys, before we go any further, I just got to say, I've written some bad emails in my day. You might have noticed it, Dylan. I send you a lot of emails, and you're just like, what is this grammar?
They used to be trash.
Not anymore.
Not
You know why?
Grammarly.
Grammarly.
Ooh, yes.
There's more to clear, effective communication than just catching spelling mistakes, okay? I learned that the hard way. Grammarly Premium gives you real-time feedback and insights to help you elevate your writing through tone, word choice, clarity, and more. Tone's one that we could all work on, right? Tone in text, tone in emails.
The proper use of our language is becoming a lost art, and I find it particularly upsetting.
You're the grammar guy here.
I find it upsetting, David.
Yeah. Have you found yourself using Grammarly more?
I blame the shorthand of social media, actually, in texting.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
But yes, Grammarly is very.
I love Grammarly. We have Grammarly Premium. What are we calling the
Premium?
The premium.
Yeah.
The
Call it
premium
GP.
level of Grammarly. It's really wonderful. It's my spelling isn't admittedly great. Grammarly fixes things faster than like spell check and tone, little things. I'm very into it. It's a very valuable plugin, and it works seamlessly across all my different emails and
Yep.
everything else.
That's the biggest.
And Google, Google Docs, my Apple Mail, my Gmail, like Grammarly just works. It's just there.
Yep.
It's good. I like it.
I've become attuned to like waiting for the little green circle to pop up in the corner of my emails to make sure, like, okay, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
It's a nice safety net.
Yep.
Grammarly Premium helps you write like a pro with advanced real-time feedback, level up your writing for work, school, or just personal projects. Premium features include advanced suggestions on grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, and style. It's the perfect writing tool for anyone who wants to stand out with every word. That's what we want to do, and we have a special offer for you at home. Elevate your writing with 20% off Grammarly Premium by signing up at Grammarly.com/bang. Grammarly.com/bang. That's 20% off of Grammarly Premium. Check it out. You will not regret it. Let's do college football. Oh my God, game of the weekend. BYU falling to Coastal Carolina. Had so much fun with this one. Coastal is my favorite football team.
They just bullied BYU.
They're just bullies. Had no clue.
That poor quarterback.
Who's 94 on Coastal? Because that dude,
They just bullied that quarterback.
And
man.
Ndamukong Suh's younger
There's some
brother.
bully boys.
I got to say, like
Like a recess beatdown, man. It was weird.
if the way that Coastal tried to play that game and did successfully do was like any other team, if that's like an SEC team,
Grammarly is not green.
that was a
right
bad
now.
sentence structure.
I had to like make sure I was hearing it right, and I looked at Dylan. Dylan's like, ah.
That was not it. If you take that style, if you take 94 and his antics and put that on like Auburn or something,
Yeah.
we're like, oh man, that's just gross. But because it's Coastal Carolina,
Paul Feinbaum is having an aneurysm this morning.
absolutely, that was a lot of fun, and it was my big boy stack. That's not the only reason I'm saying.
Shouts to you. I love it for Coastal.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't supposed to play BYU. You'll never play BYU again. Let's just act totally out of hand. Just total savages.
Yep.
I love it.
It felt like we got a bowl game before bowl season.
Yes.
That's what it felt.
sure
like.
did.
But having everyone bought
Well,
in.
two pretty good teams. Although the other thing watching this game, it's very clear that these teams are several levels below the real contenders.
Can I expose myself?
Yeah.
A guy named Dan Regesters in a little text with Mike and I, he made a comment about Gunnar Romney and mentioned that he is.
Nephew, I think.
Is it true?
Yeah,
Because there was about
100% nephew.
there was 5 minutes where I thought he was like directly related to Mitt.
I'm 99% sure.
Okay.
It's one of probably 40 nephews.
Okay, that's fair.
He has a large family.
Okay. Well, you fucking learn something new every day.
Be merry and multiply.
DJ with the game day prediction. Dustin Johnson. He was
Oh,
electric. He
man.
delivered. He did
Wearing-
everything we wanted him to.
Wearing the green jacket
Wearing the green jacket.
and a
with
green master's tie.
the Green Master's tie. Standing in front of the tree. Did you rate the tree? Do you want? I'll give you the platform.
Ooh, I didn't
now.
even notice the tree, if I'm being completely honest.
It was daytime, so you got to deduct.
Did he get some new pearly whites like in the last week?
Some
Because
Masters
they
veneers.
look, he looked like he got some new veneers, and he just revealed them to the world.
I'm sure Paulina's got him one of those like glow light things that she's.
She probably
on
endorses
Instagram.
that. I have some Gunnar Romney news.
Not.
Gunnar and Mitt Romney are, in fact, distant relatives. This according to Gunnar's brother, Baylor Romney, who's a backup at BYU.
Baylor Romney.
The parents of
Come
Gunnar
on.
Romney and Baylor Romney are Jenny and Cade Romney. Mitt Romney's kids with Ann Romney are Tag, Matt, Josh, Ben, and Craig Romney.
Okay, but what's the relationship?
Hard to
Hard
say.
Can
Just,
you imagine,
just according to his brother, they're distant relatives.
Okay.
can you imagine taking the most hardline Baylor representative and the most hardline BYU representative and just making that into one kid?
Gosh, Baylor Romney. That's great. I will,
Steve Young was a direct descendant of Brigham Young.
yeah,
There's something going on over there.
A few people are brave enough to say it, but Micah did. The
that
one
true?
shout out
Yeah.
to Coastal that we missed is they are the official field turf of the Too Much Dip podcast.
I did not know this until I tuned in.
Yeah, it was very deceiving to the eye. It looked like the old school AstroTurf, like very shallow field turf. But instead of green, they have the Coastal Carolina teal, which is very close to our color scheme. And they're playing on that all night long. And I'm just like staring. I'm like, if there was just a fucking chip with more dip than you could ever imagine in the middle of this field,
Photoshop.
like create a team, make it happen.
Let me say this. Early on in the season, I think we adopted, or I might have adopted for us, Mississippi State, because we were pretty high on their 1-0 start. I'm going to pivot, and I think you guys will allow me to do so. Coastal Carolina is now the official
Dave,
team of this podcast.
I don't know if I can support us pivoting to a team that's 9-1 at this point in the season. It's a little late.
Who's their loss to?
It doesn't really matter.
Wait, no, they're undefeated.
Wait, are they?
They are
Okay,
undefeated.
we're talking about a team that's played 9 or 10 games, though.
Liberty
It's a little.
would
I
have been one
don't.
loss.
I don't know if we can really jump on them at this point. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
SMU's
that's
done
okay.
for the year. I'm a free agent.
So is Texas State. They played 12 games.
Graduate
They won a handful.
transfers.
They've lost 10 graduate transfers.
How many fingers were on that hand, Dave?
Oh, come on.
Man. Big 12, a lot of, I guess, Big 12 title game is set up, Oklahoma, Iowa State. We'll jump into that in a week or so. Florida continuing to look legitimate. They're locked into the SEC title game, as is Alabama. Clemson also won, but everyone expected that. Any other Heisman predictions?
Yeah, who's Mac Jones?
The quarterback for Alabama.
Okay.
I would say that Mac Jones may need to say, hey, I appreciate the nomination, but Devontae Smith should be there, not me.
Yeah, that guy's legit.
Devontae Smith is the one that is gaining in the poll that I saw today that has actual Heisman voters.
Yeah.
He moved from 5th to 3rd and will probably take away the Heisman from Mac Jones. I would imagine they're going to split votes. I my money would be on Kyle Trask
Okay.
at this point.
Yeah, I guess I see that. I was just dumbfounded with how well he did because LSU, everyone knew they were going to lose, but the one player that LSU does have that is unquestionably going to be a top probably 15 to 20 draft pick is Derek Stingley.
The cornerback?
Yeah, Stingley Jr., who was legitimate, and he got torched.
Oh, really?
Torched all night. But
I tuned in for, I forgot which game it was, the LSU game, but whoever was calling the game, they were just like, yeah, don't even throw at this kid. It's a waste of time.
the story, I'm going to butcher the story, but his dad was an NFL player, or formerly played in the NFL, and either while his wife was pregnant with Stingley Jr. or right beforehand, broke his neck or basically got paralyzed in a game. And so you've got an NFL player's kid growing up to be an all-star player, although his dad's been paralyzed pretty much his entire life.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
Damn. Did not know that.
Yeah.
It's good. That's a good Heisman story.
Oh, I hope it's all true.
Although,
I'm sure I could have
probably
mixed it
not
up.
gonna
Dylan, we're going to give you the next couple minutes if you want to talk about what Texas was able to do against Kansas State.
Well, score 69.
Is that what they put up?
Yeah.
Very nice.
They had an offensive explosion. They put it to Kansas State.
Who's my guy? Who's the running back? Bijan?
Bijan Robinson, who's the reason for Ingram transferring.
I saw that he's not anymore.
Oh, really?
I believe I saw that.
Oh, he just opted out because a few of their stars opted out. Caden Stearns, the safety.
Yeah,
was
two
one
of their captains.
But yeah, Bijan, I think he averaged over 10 yards a carry. He had a ridiculous game.
He is good.
He's very, very good.
Really good.
Looks like some guys tested positive for COVID on the way home, or like right after they got back to Austin. Oh, no, wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in Manhattan. That's right.
So was such a big win like enough to save Tom Herman's job?
No, because it's a meaningless win. I mean, Texas isn't playing for much at this point. It was nice to see them show up, though. The Urban Meyer rumors are swirling still.
Yeah, so I boldly proclaimed that he would be the next coach at the University of Texas, and now appears that per 247, that's one of those
Yeah,
rumor sites, right?
I'm not saying that he's going to be the next head coach at Texas. I really have no idea. But reports like this don't mean a whole lot. And KJ might tell me I'm an idiot for this, but
I mean,
Who's the Statesman reporter that had the
Kirk Bowles.
Kirk Bowles, yeah.
Long time.
He
pretty
confirmed.
dialed.
He confirmed the other report that
I feel like it's one of those things where if you're in a position where you have a top 5 program, you're almost obligated to offer whoever that top candidate out there is each year. And Urban Meyer is going to be that candidate until he takes a job. So your fan base is not going to accept you not taking a shot at Urban Meyer if you get rid of Herman. Now, in this situation, my money would be on them. I don't know what Herman's contract is, but if it's up in
he's
the next
got
year or
2
two,
additional years.
okay, so then maybe not re-upping. But if it was like Harbaugh's where he only had 1 more, I would have probably banked on them restructuring, or not restructuring, but like re-upping and changing the buyout somehow. Which if I'm Herman, I'd be like, fuck off. I'll go take the job at Vanderbilt or something. You know what I mean? I don't see them firing Herman for anybody that's not guaranteed to be a step up. And there are very few people.
Urban. That's the list.
That's what I'm
there's
saying. There are very
no
few
one
people
other than
who check
Urban
those
Meyer.
boxes. Like,
They're talking James Franklin. It's like that's not.
Nobody
They're not
wants
going to
that.
fire
Not
him.
going to make the people happy.
Joe Brady,
Urban Meyer's not going to be the
maybe?
coach, and they're
These
not
all
going
have
to fire
be
him.
like closed door discussions, right?
Right.
Because you can't be openly shopping for a new head coach without firing the other guy first. Because then he's like, "What the fuck's going on, guys?"
I mean,
Like,
then he
looking
has
for
all the
somebody
leverage
else.
in the room. If he wants to stay, then he's like, all right, fuck you, pay me. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of how this is going to go. So I've always envied those in the
who
recruiting
else is
industry
there?
who get retained to do head coaching searches. Because this is the time of the year where you'll see a coach get fired and they've retained Corn Ferry to go find them a head coach. And I'm like, that's the next pivot in the careers to start calling. Hey, enter coach name here, Major. You ready to come back and coach these ponies? Like, yeah.
Yeah, who else is there?
All I want to do is be
I
a
want the-
consultant.
It's not gonna happen.
I just want to be one of these coaching search consultant dudes that
You're a
make
podcast
$1.5 million. Well, yeah, that's true.
Right. Check out
MWBK still available. Hey, I have an update on Floyd Mayweather. He is a minus 5,000 favorite, which means that you would bet 10 grand to win $98.
They'll fix that. Mayweather himself will make sure that gets fixed.
Can they
by
even
the time
declare
the
a
fight rolls
winner
around. In an
in an
exhibition? I mean, but
I don't understand that because
You
in
can still-
Texas you can't.
I mean, in a knockout, I think in the event of a knockout situation, that was the problem. No one bet the draw in the Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Where before they basically said like this is guaranteed to be a draw because it's an exhibition, even
they
though
had 2
Tyson
belts.
clearly won. I don't know.
The report on Urban Meyer is that he doesn't want to coach because of health concerns.
Which has always been his line. I mean, that's why he left Ohio State.
yeah.
We buying that?
That's why he left Florida.
That's
too.
why he left Florida, and he's why he left Ohio
It's
State.
like when
yeah.
Derek Fisher left the Mavs to spend more time with his family,
And
he ended up on the
immediately-
Thunder like a month later.
I believe that it was true at one point, and it's his go-to. You know, the money's not good enough for me to be healthy, like to live healthily in Austin. It makes me think about when Bill Cowher retired and/or left from the Steelers. It was to be closer to his daughters, who at that time were going into college and playing volleyball, and he wanted to be a part of their life. Well, 5 years later, Bill Cowher is still probably, I'm going to, again, get the years wrong, late 50s, and definitely could have taken a coaching job, and he was still always brought up, and he never came back. And I was always like, why the fuck isn't somebody going and getting Bill Cowher? Like, he would have been a lock A1 candidate.
Who's older, Urban Meyer or Bill Cowher?
No way.
These results may shock you.
No,
Urban Meyer.
Bill Cowher by 5 years.
I'm only saying Urban because
Yeah, because it's coming up.
Urban is only 56, sneaky young.
Okay.
Bill Cowher, 63, sneaky old.
So when that was going on, he was still probably early 50s. When,
He has not been in football for 13 years.
Yeah.
So
Urban's
yeah,
going to coach
he was
again.
50.
Yeah, so that's what blows my mind, that he basically sat out 10 years to be like the 5th guy on a TV set.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think Urban is going to coach. There's not a better job than Texas. He's not going to Michigan. You can't coach at Ohio State and Michigan. That's just not going to happen. So what
don't
other
agree with
coaches
that.
out there?
Available.
He's had Florida. He's had Ohio State. No, I'm just saying in the world of football, unless Nick Saban retired, he'd
That
take
was
the
my
Alabama
thought.
job.
What if he's waiting on Saban?
No,
Saban's sneaky
Okay,
old.
is there a
though,
school
right?
that would get him
That's
to...
true.
we're getting progressively worse at these predictions.
Is there a school that could get
true.
him to
We don't know shit.
coach again?
South Bend apparently is one.
Okay, yes, Notre Dame's on the list.
USC is my guess. Because Clay Helton isn't sticking around forever, but their season's been so fucked that who knows?
Well, they're now 4-0. 5-0. Saban's 69.
So it's, but I think that's Dabo's job, quote unquote.
Right.
Oh, he's such a.
And
Devil's not going to leave Clemson, is he?
Dabo played there. That's the one job he takes.
Slept
Oh,
in
did he?
his,
Yeah.
he slept in his bed with his mom while at Alabama as a GA. That's an ongoing
He's a
story.
Bama guy.
Shared a bed.
Was it a Willy Wonka bed?
I think it was
situation
either
with
Willy
whole squads
Wonka
in
or one
there?
of those like we have AM PM shifts.
He's going to take over that job.
So yeah, he's a weirdo,
Completely changed my
man.
mind in
Why did that
15
whole
seconds.
family just share a bed?
It wasn't weird when I was watching it. I was
Keep it
kind
a
of
fan,
happy about
man.
it.
I mean, I. Oh,
Anyhow.
jeez.
I don't know. I would say USC, Notre Dame, Texas would be a distant third when we're talking about best jobs that would potentially be available. Alabama, it might be up there.
Urban has always been tied to the Notre Dame job too, because he coached there, and apparently he's a strong Catholic. That that's got the draw. But Texas has got. I mean, Texas can pay as much as all those schools, more probably.
But nobody's getting Ryan Day or Brian Kelly out of there is the problem. So, unless Ryan Day gets wooed by the NFL, which why would you ever do that?
Yeah, but Urban can
I'd
sit
leave.
there
Take less money?
sit there and do his Fox job for as long as he wants and get paid very well.
He can go take an NFL job
He can be
5 years
he
from
can be
now
as
too.
picky as he wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, that was the talk for the Cowboys is that they were targeting Urban before they got McCarthy. Which, if they didn't get McCarthy, I wouldn't have hated that decision. I've been on record saying Matt Rule would have been a good choice.
The college to NFL jump in coaching is so spotty.
Yeah,
Saban couldn't do it.
Cliff could.
Matt Rule doing it. Cliff's doing it. Well, he was doing it
Well,
until
they still have some to prove.
Nope. I'm ready to crown him. Man, this is so awkward with Herman. Like, I mean, because they legit are actively trying. It's not just smoke. They've interviewed Urban Meyer. I would imagine the offer was made.
If the athletic director hasn't, the boosters have. There are back channel communications happening to Urban Meyer.
Conte, that's his name, right?
Del
Chris
Conte,
Del
yeah.
Conte.
I thought CU.
Conte. What?
Oh, my bad.
Okay. He hasn't said anything about Herman's job. Like, does he not need to issue some kind of like?
Now, people. The funniest thing is like the UT beat reporters are like, Chris Del Conte spent 5,000 words talking about women's volleyball in his last newsletter and zero words on football. Like, people are parsing everything that he's saying, and he is saying nothing.
'Tis the season.
And Tom Herman is so like awkward and weird in these press conferences that he like
What was his quote?
He sort of says nothing.
We would be
too.
failing here not to bring that quote back. It was in the group text. That may or may not have mentioned another
the
local
Chive.
company.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
said
he's a big chive guy.
He's
Just
been
reads
hanging out
he
and
reads
checking the
Yahoo
chive out.
News or something.
When asked
and
if he'd
Chive
heard any
app.
of the rumors about his job, he said,
What's on the chive app? Is it
It's
Chivettes?
just babes.
Oh, sick.
Mind the gap.
Dude, just to go to Instagram, dude. It's the fucking same
"Beers, bros, and bitches." I don't. Isn't that their
Shouts
thing?
to
much.
Boosh. He's still a content machine over there.
thing. Boosh is a machine.
But basically, said he doesn't see any of it because all he reads is Yahoo News. That
one's
was the
reading
first
Yahoo
red.
News.
That might be a bigger red flag than the Chive app. Yahoo News, Words with Friends, and the Chive app, which, again, that might have been my home screen in like 2011.
At least he didn't say like OAN
That's what he meant.
or News. He's like, yeah, I pivoted to
Gundy's
Newsmax.
like, ugh.
The quote is, when you don't get on the internet and you stick to Yahoo News and Words with Friends and the Chive app when you're bored, you tend to stay above the fray a little bit.
Which
Okay.
It's one thing to use those three things as your like escape from reality, Yahoo News, Words with Friend, and the Chive app. It's another thing to claim that puts you above the fray of everyone else.
there's
Get
a
the
reason,
fuck out of here,
There's
Tom
a reason
Herman.
he said that, though. Hold on. Urban Meyer book is called like Above the Line or something like that. Above the Line, life lessons, lessons in leadership and life from championship season. Urban Meyer. So I think he might have been taking a shot specifically at that by using those words.
At his old boss.
kinda love
I mean,
that.
now, this is a stupid story.
'Cause that was
This is
about the-
objectively
yeah.
stupid.
It
I
is.
think the chances of him being the head coach are about 99% next year. But it is fun, and they're losing recruits. Like this is real stuff is happening.
It's very fun. It's fun living here. It's fun hearing people act like they know. It's fun getting all like the bad intel that I've probably received a lot.
Who
of.
was it that had the tweet about how they overheard? They know who the next. It was,
Mac Engel?
No, older guy, Gil Brandt.
Yeah,
the
Gil
late,
Brandt
the
had a
great.
great quote. Yeah, that he knows that it's confirmed that Texas is going to hire somebody because he overheard someone's wife at Highland Park Village.
HPV.
Amazing.
No, she said that they've got him, but like if it falls through with Urban, then they've got an NFL coach ready.
I hear
Is that Brady?
I don't think Joe Brady's the problem with Joe Brady is he would be the right coach for the job potentially. I mean, he hadn't been head coach, but he would not be the right personality for the job, which we've seen
fair.
has destroyed every UT coach the last.
The quote from the
12 years.
lady in front of him at Highland Park Village said, "My husband donates a lot of money and it's already a signed deal. But if it doesn't work out, we have an NFL coach on standby."
But it's already a signed deal.
It doesn't sound like it was signed. God, shout out to Highland Park Village. Let's go, Miko.
Oh yeah.
One of the greats.
I could go for a Mambo taxi right now.
It's the only way she can enjoy her fajitas. People forget that. No one's mentioning Matt Campbell's name, Iowa State. As much as I take shots at the guy, like he is the name.
Yeah.
And Coastal's coach is going to get a job. I would have swore it was going to be South Carolina, but Shane Beamer just got that job. Appalachian State, Frank Beamer's son, Virginia Tech legend. The coaching carousel is one of my favorite times of the year. More to what on all of these things?
I read you loud and clear. Wow, look at that, man. We just got through all that. Do some quick dips.
Flying.
Dylan, do you want to do a little F1 talk?
Yeah.
I don't know how much you got on it.
I'm not super well versed in the sport.
Why was yesterday such a big deal? Because people were freaking
So
out.
Lewis
online.
Hamilton, who is like King Dingaling in the sport, he races for Mercedes and wins basically 4 out of every 5 races.
I thought that was ludicrous.
It's Lewis Hamilton. He I think it's COVID. He's not racing right now.
Yes.
It's COVID. And so this like kid took is driving his car, and by kid his name's George Russell. I think he's like 20, 21, 22, something like that.
This sounds like a movie.
Yes. This was his first F1 start. I mean, he's obviously raced in like lower leagues or whatever they're called, divisions. But anyway, he was driving Lewis Hamilton's car and was leading for much of the race. So the Mercedes, if you don't know much about the sport, Mercedes far and away has the best car on the track. They're just fast as fuck. So this dude was leading by a lot for a lot of the race, and there was a hiccup.
Had a puncture.
There was a hiccup like halfway to.
Oh, I missed that part.
A team physician? I'm sorry.
So there are 2 Mercedes cars on the track. Both of them had a pit at the same time, and there was a fuck up by the Mercedes pit crew. And they put the wrong tires on George Russell's car, causing him to have to pit again soon thereafter. So he had like an extra pit. They both fell back, and he ended up finishing 9th, which for Mercedes is trash. Like I said, they win pretty much every race. And Bottas, I believe is how you say it, the other Mercedes driver, he finished 7th or 8th, something like that. It's not an awful day for Mercedes, but this shit doesn't happen with Lewis Hamilton out there.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Usually when I get in the pit, I try to love someone.
Man, David, we're talking F1 here, dude.
I'm sorry.
For him and Bottas both to fall out of the top 5, from what I understand, like I said, is unacceptable. But it's just one of those weird things for me, from somebody who never tunes into F1, to see like the fallout be like universal and like completely trashing. Like going into this, the story was one thing, came out completely different, all because of this fuck up.
Mercedes is getting blamed for it, and,
Right.
and George Russell, the young rookie, is not.
Which
He raced a very strong race for his first time out there.
I would never speculate, but is this potentially an inside job by the crew to like
I don't
to
know,
not
man.
let him?
I even texted the group. I said Lewis Hamilton is watching this, like hoping this kid doesn't win to make him look bad. So who fucking knows?
Okay.
it apparently was very clear to Mercedes and everyone else that this was going to be a huge story. They had like Netflix on site shooting a documentary for this whole deal, and now it's going to come out very Sunset Parkish, which for those who haven't seen, that movie, it's like 30 years old. The good guys lose in the end. So it's going to be interesting to see if they follow through with production, and it certainly preserves like Lewis Hamilton coming back. I mean, sliding back into the seat. So I don't know. It does remind me I do have a Botas appointment right after this, so we got to stay on track.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton is not upset about the outcome of this race. I can
It's
promise
a minor setback for a major comeback.
Carlos Perez, I believe
Shouts
his
to the
name is, won
situation.
the race. And he was very...
We were too busy making our own jokes to hear any of
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry.
Carlos Perez won.
All I know is Twitter was
Oh,
disappointed.
yes. I will say that listening to him and his pit crew, that was pretty emotional. I'm sitting there like watching this on my phone and like Costco parking lot or something. And he won. He started breaking down like it was crying.
What's
like
weird
just
about
elated.
F1 to me is that there's such a gap in the capabilities of these cars
Mm-hmm.
that a team will finish like 8th, and they'll get some points for that, and they'll celebrate like they've won the race because that's as by far like the best they could have possibly done given the car that they're in and their positioning, the pole position and all that. It's weird. It's a weird sport. It really is.
You'll see that in the Olympics a lot, but like I think it might be not. I don't want to say uniquely American to like if you're not first, you're last type deal, but like placing.
Yeah, like
internationally is
Max
a big
Verstappen, who races for Red Bull. He's maybe the best racer in the sport in the world. He's incredible, and like he'll finish 3rd behind the 2 Mercedes cars, and you'll hear him on the radio being like, "Guys, that's the absolute best we could have possibly done. I promise you."
I wish I had
pushed,
that attitude
I
in,
pushed
like,
this car
everything.
to its limits, and we could not have even gotten second
See that
place.
that guy's living a great life.
He's very cocky. He's
Hell
very
yeah.
cocky.
Shout
but
out to,
he is legit.
The backers in Discord were absolutely all over F1. They were
Are they?
They were deep into
And
this.
hopefully,
so we'll
hopefully
get
they
torched
approve
for,
of my
yeah, I was
comments.
gonna say.
Like I'm new to this
Yeah.
sport, so don't roast me too much for getting some shit wrong.
No, I will
Don't
vouch for you
try
that
talking
you were
F1.
fully like involved in the race in the group text, and Will knew more than any of us did about it. But
He's more into it.
But you certainly were invested, and I planned to watch.
It's fun.
I didn't, but I caught the end of it.
We'll even hit the group text the night before to remind us about
Yeah,
said
we'll
race.
do that.
Major shouts.
Victor Hovland, the official golfer of David Ruff, breaks the Puerto Rico curse, wins in Mexico yesterday. Unbelievable in the 11-year history of the Puerto Rico Open. No
Wait.
winner has gone on to win.
What? What's Puerto Rico? Are you telling me this and I'm interrupting you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm shutting up.
What do you mean?
Go on.
I don't know
I
the
want you to
curse either.
explain the curse.
Yeah,
No
tell
one-
us the
no.
curse.
Okay, so there's never been no one who's ever won that tournament has gone on to win another tour event.
Okay.
Wow.
Now they've had a guy who's been a repeat winner, but he never won anywhere else on tour, and that includes Tony Finau. So Victor Hovland won this a year or two ago, and it's a thing. It's like people are like, oh, he's not going to win Puerto Rico Open, but no, he pulled it out yesterday, drained like a 15-footer on 18, and took the dub. I love the guy.
I have
Oklahoma
to
State's
admit,
own.
I wasn't watching, and I was very confused by the text that just kept saying Hove. Like I thought something happened with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is
thought so,
alive
too.
and well, and invested in Triller.
Yeah, not Triller, but the Versa Climber one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's just my mom, everybody. It's good.
okay.
Everything's fine.
We have not got a chance to discuss the Texas high school football attack, but kid's been arrested.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody had a chance
Team
to
has
see
been
this.
disqualified?
He was
Yeah.
ejected from a
Edinburgh.
game and attacked the ref.
Edinburgh High School, 3A, maybe 4A.
No, it's 6A.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
dude.
My bad.
This kid, I
it
think,
they,
sounds
they were
small.
prevented from going to the playoffs was the problem.
I think
was
this kid's
I was
like
like the
a
playoffs for
prospect,
6A
too.
don't start until this week. So I was thinking when they said got kicked out, it couldn't have been 6. But
or
you're right.
was a prospect, I should say.
Edinburgh's down by McAllen.
Valley, right?
Yep, in the Texas Rio Grande Valley. What play got him ejected? I
I don't
didn't
know.
see that proceeding.
I've only seen the attack.
In your opinion, having seen the Coastal Carolina players' excessive blocking and this player's toss down of the ref, which do you feel was more egregious?
Oh, this.
Well, this because it was against the
The ref's not a
59-year-old
player.
man,
Doesn't have pads on, and it's not part of the actual game.
and he did spear the
It
guy.
was
Yeah,
actually
you also
extracurricular.
didn't run across the field to.
He didn't have
to
his
hammer.
helmet on, though.
Helmet was off.
He threw a shoulder into him and
He
knocked,
did.
and knocked him
He
down.
went water boy. You
This
know
is-
what?
I think
As a
this is much
society,
worse.
we can't glorify the water boy and not expect this to happen. Because I mean, was he not blatantly attacking like everyone from like coaches to teachers to fucking refs?
Well, one's an Adam Sandler movie. The other one is
Yeah, the
real life
Bourbon
high
Bowl
school
isn't a real
football.
game.
One of them's amateur athletics.
I don't really like the idea that the entire team is now kicked out of the playoffs. That seems a little crazy to me.
I don't really like the hot sports takes that go on when that happened. Like, oh, kids are going to learn accountability today. I'm like, what the fuck am I accountable for this idiot's like all-time bad decision?
I forget his name, the monster defensive end for the Browns who
Myles Garrett.
was he were
Arlington.
charges brought
No.
on him
No.
for that? Because that's more egregious than what this kid did.
Despite
Yeah.
what that dude on
He's
Twitter
a
who
weapon.
tweeted assault said.
Yeah, he swung his helmet.
That's
but
much worse than this.
Although it's in the midst of a game, which, again, egregious. You could argue that he swung at somebody who also had pads, not his helmet on, at somebody's face. I would probably rank Myles Garrett, Coastal Carolina guy, than this situation. The only reason I'm a little bit sour, I think, is some of the blowback where people have just been dogpiling, like, oh, we can't have any room for this. Like, of course not. Like, nobody is pro this happening. Like, but it just seems very convenient for everyone to be like, fucking egregious, ruin this kid's life, like, get him out of here. I'm like,
I don't think he should go to jail.
yeah, and he got walked straight to the cops car.
Right.
Cop car.
I don't think that should happen.
So-
but he needs to be disciplined pretty hard for this,
sure.
I think.
It does suck for his teammates, though.
That shouldn't be
Like,
the,
I mean,
the outcome.
it's like the one shithead on your football team who skips class, and then everybody else has to run sprints, and he doesn't. He has to just sit there because your coach hates the guy. Or, I'm sure you used to treat pledges this way all the time.
Can confirm.
Come on.
Yeah. Interns, certainly. I saw that with my
pledge,
own
bro.
eyes.
Run the square.
I'm better than you.
Well,
Yeah,
like when there's
just
a
ban
tar-
him from UIL. Like, there's no
Yeah.
reason to touch the team.
Agree. When there's a targeting penalty, like not everybody's not getting ejected. Like that's not what they do.
Let's do that. And when you get targeting, you make the entire team see that field goal post, there and back.
They got to do yo-yos.
Everyone's got to go get it.
And this, Dylan, you mentioned it, but he was somewhat highly recruited. Like he was a
Yeah.
prospect. I don't know if he was like a 4-star or anything, but
Drug test might be in a little PED situation, might be in order. This kid was yoked.
Was he?
He was
he's an
a,
absolute unit.
He was a brawny looking
He
dude.
was looking at school getting paid for.
Yeah.
And now who knows?
Yeah.
And now he'll go to like Last Chance U and then get school paid for.
Yeah.
We got playoffs
Yeah.
for 6A and 5A starting this week. Duncanville's got Harker Heights, a Killeen school, which I don't know very much about them. I think it's some of the
They're
new
like
Killeen
6 and 4 or something like that. They're not
They're
that
talking that shit. I'm seeing some of the Duncanville dads on Twitter clapping back. It's a lot of fun if you just type in Duncanville into the Twitter search and see what comes up. So check that out. We got to give a couple minutes to James Harden, not at the Rockets' first practice. Apparently, he was at Lil Baby's birthday party and videotaped at a strip club afterward. Might have been at the same event.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah, it's a bad look. And then Harden actually, on his Instagram story, just did a zoomed-in emoji face, like a shocked emoji, and that was it. And people were trying to read into it, like, what is that about? But apparently he hasn't talked to their new coach, Paul Silas.
Not a good look.
No, it's not a good look, and people were comparing it to, like, what Russ is doing in Washington. Apparently showed up 2 hours early to practice, trying to set the tone. And they're like, this is what leadership is.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of those takes out there, but
Gosh.
I fully expect Harden to ball this year. I don't know. I mean, he does his best when he's out there going wild ass.
I don't see why they would move him. I don't. I mean, he's going to play. He's not going to sit out. You keep him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we're going to have basketball season fully. Like they threw out the schedule for the first half. Like it is back. It's fully back. But I don't know that anyone's mentally prepared to have football, basketball like back again like this quick after their last season. Last note on Texas high school football real quick. I did note that the 6A and 5A playoffs that start this weekend, state title game, mid-January. The beauty and like feel of going to Texas Stadium or just having 10, 12 state title games like all over the course of 3 days is like very unique in Texas or to Texas, I would say. And it's a scene. And so you have some playing on Christmas Eve or whatever and 23rd and 24th, and now you've got the others mid-January. That's not going to be the same vibe at all. So.
No.
But anyhow, that's it on that. We also are sorely lacking college basketball talk, which we will get to on a future episode.
I was really bummed to see Baylor Gonzaga canceled.
Chelsea, Texas winning the Maui Invitational.
Oh, Texas 3-0?
Played in Asheville, North Carolina.
They lost. They lost
to
yesterday
Van-
to
Oh,
Oh, they did.
Villanova.
yeah,
You know who hadn't
Villanova.
lost?
Yeah,
That was good though.
those 4-0 Mustangs.
Oh, wow.
Buzzer beater
It always
over
comes back
Dayton.
to the
Those
stands.
3-0 Missouri Tigers. What's up? Hi, haters.
I'm going to follow college basketball this year. I just want to say Big 12 is going to be badass. And as a noted T-shirt Baylor fan, I will be dialed.
Shout out to Villanova.
Shout out to Villanova. Mike, are you ready to run it?
Let's do it. This is Run It Back, the segment in which we talk about what we already talked about. I'll also mention that I sort of mailed this in today.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Dylan looks hot in his hoodie today.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
We, Too Much Dip, support True Kitchen in Dallas. A reminder, don't be twerking on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is rooting for the Saints to collapse, but not Drew Brees' lungs.
Correct.
Chris Sims looks like a Proud Boy.
Okay.
We don't know if he is, but he looks like
he
it.
is.
Dave's written some bad emails in his day, but not anymore, thanks to Grammarly.com/bang.
Added value.
Coastal Carolina is the official field turf of Too Much Dip. Dabo slept with his mom in a Willy Wonka situation.
That's right.
Shouts to Highland Park Village. That's the only way she can eat fajitas.
It's very confusing for people.
I'm sorry. I forgot how funny that was. Lewis Hamilton is King Dingaling, according to Dylan. And when Dave gets in the pit, he tries to love someone. And that was Run It Back.
And that's all you wrote. Fun stuff, guys.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I want to say let's go to True Kitchen next time I'm in town, but
It'll be a little difficult to get a.
it's
What
already,
I learned is it's very difficult to get a reservation there. Like, it was booked out 2 to 3 weeks in advance prior to this event, and I'm sure that it's only more so after that. Very popular place.
And I don't want to be obviously the guy who's there because of they heard of it through the viral incident.
It's pretty clear that you would be that guy, though.
yeah.
Why? What does that mean? Does that be twerking on the glass?
I think people would know.
I don't understand what you mean by that. That's fair, but I've heard good things. Like
I support local business.
I have a friend of a friend who went. You guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Was it Flounder?
You
No,
guys
sir.
got hard outs. No, it's
Yeah.
not flounder.
I got to go scoop the homie.
Okay,
That was a hell of an episode.
it's a good
It
episode.
really was.
They
Felt like a
handled
dead
that well.
sprint from
Didn't
start
even
to
talk
finish.
Cowboys.
Yeah, we'll get them
Let's
Thursday.
play Tuesday. They didn't have a chance to disappoint us over the weekend.
Okay, but what do you think McCarthy's going to do? No, we'll get out of here.
Infuriate me.
We'll see y'all Thursday. Bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.